Your dad has offered me my job back at BE.
He really did?
I know. I was surprised, too.
Jared, do you know what this means? It means that he's over what happened.
I don't know about that, but he does want you back in the family, that's for sure. And he wants me to be able to take care of you.
Well, that's a little old school, but that's great. Isn't it?
I love my job at BE, you know that.
Okay, the problem is?
Is your dad offering me the job back just because I'm marrying his daughter?
Jared, my dad loves me, but he also loves BE, and he's not going to just hand out an upper management position as charity unless he's got you slotted for the mailroom.
I don't think so.
Honey, you were amazing at BE. You brought in clients and you could solve problems. That's why Nigel was so willing to pass you off as grandpa's son. God, could you imagine the damage that David Vickers would have caused had he known he was a Buchanan?
David Vickers would have been a bad seed no matter where he put roots down.
Maybe. His mother, Emma Bradley, worked for me. She was with Ned Truman. They had a little baby boy. And still she fell head over heels for Asa. And Asa wasn't in love with her.
How could he be when you were very much part of the equation?
And then Ned came back from Vietnam, and I advised her to forget Asa, to start a real life with Ned. Let him be a father to their child.
Spencer Truman, who grew up believing he was Mr. Buchanan's heir.
And I thought that when she had a baby 9 months later, that it was Ned's. Nigel. I actually held David Vickers in my arms as a baby. Yes, I was wearing a necklace. Another gift from Asa, just like the one I had on the other day. And sweet, kind, darling, dear little David kept tugging on it, nearly choked me to death.
Let me guess. Platinum?
With many, 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 many more diamonds.
As I said, madam, nature over nurture.
What do you mean by we're brothers?
All men are brothers. It is only thought that separates us. What we think, what we become.
Okay, let's just cut to the chase here. You said you wanted to talk about the Buchanan fortune?
Ah, yes. Namaste, Nora.
Namaste.
I left this town with nothing but a mantra. There's a sucker born every minute. But a near-death experience helped me realize I did not want to leave this life, being remembered as a money-hungry swindler who tried to con your family out of $10 million.
Twice.
I hope you don't think the third time's a charm.
I'm only grateful I was not successful the first 2 times. Otherwise, I may never have seen the light.
What light is that exactly?
The light that revealed I was a man who coveted what others owned. That is who I was.
Was?
I am no longer interested in money, or any other material possession for that matter. I ask only one thing of you, Clint.
Hold on, here it comes.
I must apologize for my misdeeds, and ask you for your forgiveness.
David is Clint's brother, Asa's son? If you don't believe me, ask Nigel. Nigel has the proof. So your plan was to marry David before he found out he was a Buchanan and then divorce him once he got his inheritance?
Yes. He would have his inheritance and his birthright, and I would have California community property laws. Everybody wins.
Except David doesn't know he's a Buchanan, if indeed he is.
Well, I dragged him down to Texas so he could claim his inheritance, and then I found out that Asa didn't leave him anything.
Ah, shucks.
So I intended to talk about that with Clint.
You mean you intended to blackmail him?
No, not exactly. But that didn't happen.
Why not?
Nigel. Nigel was so desperate to keep me from telling anyone what I'd found out about David that he was willing to give me his entire inheritance from Asa. He left his long-lost son an island and a boat.
Actually, no. He left them to me. But I will sign them over to you, newlyweds, this very moment, in exchange for your eternal silence about Mr. Vickers' paternity.
That's how much he wanted to protect his beloved Buchanans. I cannot believe Nigel would just give away his inheritance. He was desperate. And you know what they say? Desperate times call for desperate measures. Indeed.
Manning was here, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was here. We talked.
Talked about what?
He said he still loved me. I ran away from him. He followed me up onto the roof. He said he couldn't live without me.
Did he hurt you?
He jumped.
What?
He jumped off the roof. He jumped. When I told him that I hated him, he jumped.
I tell you, look, I know that you're just thinking of Todd, but I'm just thinking of my daughter here. Please, do you have any idea what she has gone through?
I can't imagine how horrible it must have been for Star to lose her baby.
No, it was a baby that Todd was going to steal. Now, I don't care what he told you. He was there at the hospital the day that she was born. And he was going to take her baby.
Blair, I can't have this conversation with you anymore, okay?
If you care about Star, the way that you always say that you do, then you will think about her and what you...
What?
What's he doing?